Anyway, I took the elk back to the office that day, took it to the, what we call the meat room, it's kind of our lab, I guess, and ran a metal detector over the elk, and I was able to get a pristine bullet out of the elk, and with the micrometers on it, the best of my ability, looked like it was about a 243. It was a Grand Slam bullet. I'm not a reloader. I learned that in this case. There was a GS on the bottom of the bullet, and so that was a pretty significant deal there. So that was a good start. You know, I have a bullet from the elk, had brass, so I potentially could match it to a gun and do tool marks and ballistics. I went back out to the ranch that day, talked to the rancher, and they kind of pointed out a spot where maybe this fella had target practiced the day before. So I went out there, and the targets were still up on an old wooden fence post, and I had a laser pen in my truck. Hey, I'm not a high-tech guy, I just happened to have one in my truck that day. There was a bank behind the target, probably 75, 80 yards behind the target, good backstop. Just kind of took my little laser pen and put it through the hole in the target, then got a rough idea on the bank where that bullet would have hit, and just kind of visually marked it with my eye and walked up there with the metal detector, and started looking around and couldn't find anything that night. So I went back again the next day with the metal detector, and geez, I wasn't for 5 minutes, and I got a hit, dug it up, and it was a Grand Slam bullet. That's pretty cool. And looked around some more, and I found 3 bullets, I think, that day out of the hill. Those were all Grand Slam bullets. So now I got a bullet that I'm thinking might have a chance to match the bullet that was in the elk. Starting now to be able to pin it on them a little bit more because they were there shooting the day before. So I had that, but wanted to make sure, so I ran that bullet to the lab. The lab guys did me a favor, the state crime lab, they looked at them real quick.
Captain Dara called us, and he recovered a bullet that was taken out of where these guys were target practicing sometime earlier, and he also recovered a bullet from a killed elk, and he brought those in. He couldn't find the gun. He just wanted to find out if they were fired from the same gun. So he would have brought those in to us to look at, to examine and look at the microscopic imperfection to determine if they were fired from the same gun. All right, so if you look up here, the one on the left is from the burn.
Okay.
The one on the right is the one you got from the elk, and right down here is a hairline. So what you're looking at is two separate bullets. In case if we don't get a gun, we compare the evidence to make sure and tell them if it was fired from the same gun. And a lot of times we get one bullet cases, so we generally give them a list of possible guns that could fire. And all these marks that you see on there are the striations from the inside of the barrel. And so with that information, I can tell you that those were fired from the same gun.
The positive they came from the same gun.
Yes.
That's awesome.
It comes down to the way that the gun is manufactured, the barrel is manufactured. Inside the barrel is what's called rifling. They've raised and lowered portions throughout the whole barrel. And when that bullet is fired through there are microscopic imperfections that are impressed into and onto that bullet. And then those are the areas that we look at. A lot of, for the layman, the scratches on the bullet that you look at, those are individual to that rifle. So we would be taking a look at those microscopically to determine if they were fired from the same gun.
They were fired from the same gun. That's awesome. It gives me a lot more confidence because the one was from the animal and the one was shot the day before at a target. So, and I know who was shooting at the target. So that's great. Great. Hey, thanks, Travis.
Yep.
Appreciate it very much. Cool. I'm on my way.
50 miles east of Missoula, Montana, Warden Jeff Dara has set up a check station on opening day. A pair of hunters had stopped, claiming they had not killed elk, but did help another hunter pack one out. The second vehicle arrives, and the story evolves.
When I asked the driver of that vehicle who harvested the elk, he said, well, one of the guys in my truck and then one of the guys in the truck that I just checked where they said they didn't kill any elk. I just want to ask you just a quick question. When I asked if you got anything today, you said no. How come? You don't have a cow permit?
No,
How come you said no?
because accidentally we're recording it out and cut the head off. So.
Oh, is that what you did? Oh, okay. All right. Just be straight up with me, dude. All right. Okay. Yeah, you could tell he was pretty nervous. He was, kind of shaking his head. And he said, well, I screwed up. So what you got is an elk in there with no evidence of sex on it or something?
Well, we have the head, we quartered it, but no, we didn't. Because then afterwards we read the legs,
Uh-huh.
and we were freaking out because we didn't keep the sack on there.
Oh, okay. Okay. Just be honest with me, dude. I'll treat you fair. Okay, let's go look at it real quick. So he was just nervous, didn't know what to say, made the wrong decision by telling me something that wasn't true, and we just had a little discrepancy. When they came through, I asked them if they harvested anything today, and they said no. And I knew we had because you could smell the elk and see the blood, but
Whose tags are they?
yeah, he just said that he maybe screwed up and didn't leave the evidence of sex attached or something, and that was why he was. So is it the one that's cut in half? Is that yours?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's the tag? The tag's right there. Alrighty. And you just cut the head off, and that's all the problem was that? Okay. All right. Not the end of the world. All right. So here's the front half, and then the hind half is right here. Okay. Yeah. I just want to look at it real quick. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. You got the head right there. Okay. Alrighty. Alrighty. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not going to write you a ticket. I'm not going to take your elk, but I am going to write you a warning ticket. Okay? Just kind of not telling me right up front. Okay? Alright? And that way you'll just have a warning ticket. Doesn't go on your record. You don't have to do anything like that. But anyway, we'll just do it that way. You can keep your elk. Go home. Next time when I ask you, just tell him. Alright, good enough. It does sound like that's what it was. He got excited and removed all the evidence of sex, and so what I did was I gave him a warning citation for that, and kind of lectured him on telling me the truth the next time he comes to the check station. And you could tell he felt bad. He didn't seem like he was the kind of kid that did that all the time. He felt pretty bad about it. So hopefully he learned a lesson, and next time he talks to the game warden, he tells the truth. Okay, well, you bet. We'll see you guys. You bet. You bet. Have a good trip.
When we return, it's back to solving Captain Darrow's case file. It's been a blast from the past. Captain Jeff Darrow spent some time at the Montana State Crime Lab with ballistics expert Travis Spender as they attempt to match bullets from an illegally killed elk to bullets recovered from a target area presumed used by the shooter in question.
This one brings back memories. This is a rifle we seized on a case, I think about 9-10 years ago. This is I see they have a newspaper article there right with it. It was a very large case. You can see poaching charges filed, a quote from the county attorney. These people are not trophy hunters, they're not sportsmen, they're just killers.
So on a daily basis, any firearm that may come into the laboratory, we're going to take that firearm, test fire it, check the safeties, make sure that it's working correctly, and test fire that firearm.
All right, here we go.
We gathered the test fires and compare that to any fired evidence that they may have received from the crime scene, whether it be fired bullets or fired cartridge cases, and try to determine if that fired evidence was in fact fired from the firearm.
They were matched, so they definitely fired the same gun, fired the same bullets. They killed that elk that was target practicing the day before. At that point, I kind of started realizing that a gun got ditched on me, and got hidden before that guy stopped me the day before. So went up there where the vehicle was known to have been parked. It was in a draw, kind of a gully, maybe at the most 200 yards from side to side, ponderosa pine, some brush. I just started doing circles out from the truck. There was a culvert there, and looked under the culvert, and the tree.